So the month of April was a pretty good month for the channel. Oh yeah. I put out 18 reel videos on the main channel. There were a lot of little announcement videos and such, but 18 reel videos and 4 videos, real videos on the Patreon channel. And yeah, I got something like 12,000 new subscribers. I had in total something like 2.1 million views, which is actually the record for my channel. Yeah, but by just a little bit. You know, over the last 6-8 months, it's been fairly consistent. It's been in the 2 million to 1.7 million view range. And I'm just very happy with it. The channel is just progressing. It's just chugging along. And see, there are a lot of times when I've been doing videos when I really haven't felt like making videos, you know? I mean, to tell you the truth, if I had to guess, I'd say roughly between a third and half of the videos, well, you know, I didn't really feel like making them. Not really. You know, I just wasn't in the mood, you know? But I did them anyway. Because I had to, because I'd set a schedule. My schedule is Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, a new video. And so I had to do the videos. But here's the funny thing. See, retrospectively, I can't tell the difference which of the videos I made I was in the mood to make and which ones I just didn't feel like making but made anyway. I cannot tell the difference. And to tell you the truth, I've forgotten which one was which. Yeah, and I count myself lucky, as a matter of fact, because you see, it's only roughly maybe half of my videos was work product that I was just not in the mood to make. See, most people in most professions, you know, it's smaller than half, less than half of the work that they do is stuff that they feel like doing. Most of the time, they just gut it out. They just grind it out. They just, you know, do it because they have to do it. I mean, I am frankly fucking blessed that the videos that I'm making are, you know, half of them at least, are videos that I enjoyed making, that I was in the mood to make. I really wanted to do them. But what's important is the ones that I wasn't in the mood to make. See, because that discipline, that's consistency. And it's the most important quality that you will have in your work life. See, a lot of guys think that, you know, you have to be fucking brilliant, that you have to reinvent the wheel, that you have to be just like a fucking genius or something to succeed at work. No, no, no. All you need is consistency. All you need is stick-with-itness to produce work, quality work, consistently, day after day, even when you're not in the mood for it. Especially when you're not in the mood for it. That's what separates, you know, the boys from the men, quite frankly. See, because the boys, the amateurs, frankly, the losers, they're all going to be like, oh, you know, I'm not in the mood, and I'll do it when I'm in the mood. Like whiny little fucking bitches. You see what I'm saying? See, but the professional, the man, the guy who understands that work, that life is not all fun and games. On the contrary, most of life pretty much sucks and is just struggle and work and tedium. Well, those guys who understand what life is about, they're just going to grind it out. They're just going to gut it out, and they're going to strive to maintain that consistency. God, I mean, I wish when I had been younger, somebody had told me how important consistency was, how important consistency is in order to succeed at life. Yeah, because, you know, all of life is consistency. Woody Allen said it best. He said 90% of life is showing up, right? What does showing up mean? It means being consistent, being there, being where you're supposed to be at the time that you're supposed to be, whether you feel like it or not. That's the important thing. And consistency, well, you know, immature children and talented people, especially, are the ones who lack consistency. See, in my own case, and this is a bitter regret of my life, I was very inconsistent when I was younger. In very crucial periods of my life, I was extraordinarily inconsistent. I would jump into things with great gusto, right? I just jump in with all the enthusiasm in the world, right? And because I was talented and pretty smart, I would, you know, do some amazing work because my enthusiasm and my brains and my talent would just elevate the work product, right? And it was sometimes pretty extraordinary. And because of that, you know, I was able to accomplish incredible feats at a very young age. But the problem was that when I was younger, I lacked consistency because everything came to me easily, so I didn't understand the concept of struggle, that most of life is struggle. Most of life is tedium. And those bits of happiness, they're rare and few and far between. But I didn't understand that because I was young and stupid and naive, and nobody had sat me down and told me this. And to tell you the truth, even if somebody had, even if the man I am today could go back and talk to the 22-year-old idiot that I used to be and sit him down and tell him what's what and tell him how important consistency was, sticking with things, doing it day after day, whether he wants to or not, I don't think that my 22-year-old self would have listened to my 51-year-old self. In point of fact, I probably think that my 22-year-old self would have said, oh, you know, that old fart, what the fuck does he know? He doesn't know shit. I know better. He didn't. You don't. See? You think that you can skate by on brains and like sudden bursts of energy? No. See, life is a marathon. See? Life is a marathon. You ever run, like, say, a mile, 2 miles, 5 miles? I'm sure that you can sprint. I'm sure that you can sprint 100 yards, no problem. And maybe you can get a pretty good time at the 100 yards, right? But see, the issue is that in life, in success, you're not sprinting. In life, and to achieve real success, you're running a marathon. And you have to maintain a consistent pace. That's the most important thing. Now, I'm very proud of how the channel is doing because it's an object lesson in consistency. I'm consistently delivering quality content, whether I feel like it or not, 4 times a week, day after day, like I'm supposed to, on schedule, on time, right? It's a rare time that I miss out, right? And if I miss out, miss my schedule, miss my self-imposed deadline, I try to make it up. And if I miss it, it's usually because like something actually happened. It wasn't just because I didn't feel like it. Oh no. And when I don't make it, you know, today, I feel bad about it, which is good. You want to feel bad about being inconsistent. You want to feel ashamed about it. Why? Because only by feeling bad about something, feeling ashamed, feeling that you failed, will you stick with it? Will you continue day after day, regardless of the tedium? See, that's the thing. It's tedium. Tedium is the killer. Tedium makes you want to just like, you know, I'll put it off, I'll do it later. Okay, I'll do it later. It's just too tedious, or, you know, I can't resist, you know, playing the video game, or I can't resist, you know, going out with my buddies, or surfing the web, or just jacking off and not doing anything. I can't resist those temptations rather than be consistent with the work. That's what happens, because work, to do quality work, is tedious. And that's a fact. You know, to be nursing every little tiny little detail in the work that you're doing, and to get it just right, and to elevate something from just being, you know, good enough to being exceptional, to being exemplary. It takes a lot of fucking discipline. I mean, you've been in a situation where you've written a paper for college, right? And you wrote it, you know, half-assed, you know, in 5 minutes before it was due, right? And you handed it in, and it was, you know, it got maybe a gentleman's C or some shit like that, right? Because you're a smart kid and you can get away with it, right? But then later you looked at the paper, and you looked at it and reread it, and you're like, oh, you know, if I tweaked it here and tweaked it there and just spent a little more time and just did the tedious work necessary, I would have elevated the C paper to a B, maybe an A paper, probably an A paper. Don't you feel miserable when you feel that regret? Doesn't it feel awful? That regretful feeling in the pit of your stomach? That feeling like, shit, you know, it could have been good, but it wasn't good. It was just mediocre. Young guys today are taught that they should never feel bad about fucking anything, right? That, oh, don't feel bad about it, you know. And any defect that they have is not a defect, it's a disorder. And that way, you know, by labeling something a moral defect, relabeling it, repackaging it as a disorder, people can no longer, they don't need to feel bad about it. And they feel that they don't actually need to do anything about it. I personally think that that's wrong. Fuck that. I think that you should feel bad. You should feel bad when you fuck up. You should feel bad when you don't give it your best, give it your all, especially in your work, especially in whatever job, whatever endeavor you are pursuing. You have to give it your all and you have to keep it consistent. And when you fail to keep it consistent, consistent quality, consistent effort, running the marathon day after day, you should feel bad when you fail, when you slip up, when you give in to temptation on one day or another. Oh yeah, you should feel bad. And you should sort of like, you know, relish in that shitty feeling. Because that is the only way to cure the lack of consistency. To recognize that this shitty feeling, is it a feeling that you want all the time? No, fuck no. You want the opposite feeling, that feeling of completion. I mean, I'm looking back at my channel, right? And I'm seeing all the videos that I made this month, and I'm fucking happy about them. Fuck yeah. I mean, some of them, you know, I was like, you know, glancing through them, you know, skipping around to see them a little bit. I was like, fuck yeah, some of it sounds pretty fucking good. Yeah. And some of the videos, the way I designed the look of it, you know, yeah. And some of the editing things that I've been implementing as of late, I liked it. I thought they were pretty fucking good. And I couldn't tell the difference between the ones that I had to gut out, that I just did not feel like doing them at all. I could not tell the difference between those videos and the videos that just came just like that. I couldn't tell the difference. I mean, the finished product, it was all, you know, it looked to me equally good. You know, yeah, some parts were better than others, of course. You know, there was a natural variation in quality, but within a relatively high band. You see what I'm saying? And that feeling, that satisfaction that my consistent work had given me, had brought me 2,110,000 page views in the month of April. That made me feel fucking great. Yeah. It made me feel awesome. Yeah, of course, there are problems that I'm having with the channel, and you know, my videos are all getting demonetized, right? And because they're getting demonetized, you know, YouTube doesn't show them to all the people who would get something out of them. And that's the real reason I'm pissed off about demonetization, okay? I mean, sure, the money that I'm missing out, yeah, I want it, of course, but the real thing that is pissing me off is that I'm losing viewers because of this fucking demonetization. But that's my problem. The point I'm trying to make here, see, the satisfaction, the satisfaction, the feeling of, oof. See, you can only get that sense of satisfaction by just gutting it out, by being consistent, grinding it out. If this feels like a bit of a topic I've talked about before, it's because I have. Yeah, fuck yeah, here in the video right there. Grind it out. I talked about, well, you know, how you have to grind it out, even when you don't feel like doing something. Yeah. It's the most important quality that you have. Remember, like I've said countless times, and I will say countless more times into the future, the only difference between a man and every other living creature on this earth is that men can control their feelings, can set them aside, and use their reason, logic, acquired knowledge, and experience to make the best decision for their short-term, medium-term, and long-term futures. Now, when you decide, like a man, to be consistent in your work, what you are doing is you are setting aside the feelings of impatience, of boredom, the feelings of temptation, and the feelings of wanting to do something more interesting rather than the work that you're supposed to do. You're setting those feelings aside, and you're using your reason and your logic and your acquired knowledge to understand that in the future, You need to be consistent in order to be successful. The successful people in the world, they are all consistent. Every single one. That's the key to their success. You don't need to be smart. No, you don't need to be smart. You don't have to have good connections or any shit like that. See, all you have to do is be consistent in your work. See, you're consistent in your work, the connections will come to you. You're consistent in your work, you deliver, people know that you deliver when you say it, and in the manner that you say it, and always at a high level of quality, right? People will know, the connections will come to you. You don't have to be all like, you know, this little social butterfly floating around trying to get stuff. No, it comes to you. And you don't have to be smart either, okay? You can be a little bit of a fucking retard. But if you're consistent, lots of people will want to hire you, the retard, as opposed to that guy over there who's a fucking genius, but you know, he gets up and does the work whenever he fucking feels like it. Yeah. Because most people in the world have no use for a temperamental genius. A temperamental genius is very interesting and amusing sometimes, extraordinary when he gets his shit together and decides to accomplish something. But for the most part, a temperamental genius is a fucking loser. No matter how many IQ points he has. Yeah. Consistency. It's all that matters. Absolutely goddamn right. It's the only thing that matters. And you who are watching my channel, why the fuck do you think you're watching my channel today? Huh? Because you knew that a video of mine was coming out. And you knew that it was going to speak to you.